Hello, Cherie Hanson here. It is the 10th of August, headed toward my birthday when I'll be 81. My gosh, my gosh. Woo! And today, as I was listening to one of my teachers talk about you're not lazy, you're not procrastinating. When you feel out of energy, when you feel flatlining, uninspired, that kind of thing, that is overwhelm. And I thought to myself, it's really interesting, that concept of overwhelm. First of all, we carry our family DNA trauma in our cells. We have our own childhood experiences that aren't usually pink ponies and sparkling flower fairies. And now in this time in history, we've got this ominous sense of danger that is pushing down on us. Questions such as, what's the next virus that's coming? Am I safe in my body? What's going on with world governments? And is there going to be another war? And there's so many questions. There's so many questions. And so when we're in this state of so much chaos around us, what happens is we're already off balance, and it's just the flick that ends up sending us over the edge. And the flick can be chaos in your house, 10,000 objects everywhere. It can be something happening in your family. Somebody you love in the family is sick or having difficulties. It can be the slightest thing when you're got your wheelbarrow already full, or your donkey loaded so heavily it's never going to get up that mountain path. So the first step in dealing with this time of overwhelm is to recognize it. If we can learn to ask ourselves questions, why do I feel so tired? Why, when I had a good sleep, am I just not wanting to do anything in the afternoon? And we look at the heat. It's very, very hot. We look at various forces of destabilization that are going on. We look at the influence of the things that we're listening to, watching, participating in. We also look at how we're sabotaging our own bodies and our own health. Because the first thing you want to do when you get into a state of overwhelm is distract yourself. And I'm going to tell you, the last 2 days, I found myself, I was watching my hand, a disembodied experience. My hand reached out in the dollar store and picked up a small bag of chips. And I am saying to myself, what are you doing? And this ego thing is going, well, you've got new people coming every day. You have the house to take care of, the yard to take care of. You're being so disciplined. Here are some chips, which will make you feel like crap and weaken your physical health. That'll work. And it's interesting to see how there are segments of analysis. Let's say this is a lab experiment or this is science. First, you have to know you're in overwhelm. And when we're used to doing too much, carrying too heavy a load, taking care of too many people, feeling responsible for everyone around us to make sure that their needs are met, when we're in that state, we don't even notice that we're in overwhelm because we're always in overwhelm. You have to first get to a place. It's kind of like swimming across a lake in the dark. You can't see the other shore. You're not even sure it's there. But there is a state of calm. There is a state of balance. There is a state of comfort. But in order to know what that is, you have to first achieve it. That's not fair, is it? If I haven't ever achieved it, then how am I going to achieve it? And that's when we come down to this sense of trust. If I do the things I know I should do to make my body healthy and happy, and to make myself calm and in a place of high vibration, then I'll have something to contrast it with. Like I had to give up work addiction, just very much like base jumping, just jumping off a cliff without a parachute. It's just like, all right, I'm going to give up work. Like, ah! So that's the first conundrum to really work on. And that is, think of yourself as a science experiment. You're going to take this lab rat, this body, this personality, and you're going to create the circumstances for optimum health and calmness. And then you will understand when you are falling into overwhelm. It'll be very clear. I was feeling great. I was walking along down the sidewalk. There was singing going on in my head. The birds were singing. I saw the cute little kitten walking past. I was looking at the clouds. And I'm just saying in my head, I love my life. And that is your sense of completion in the state of being alive. It's not that there's something missing. There's nothing missing. Nothing. It's all there. The clouds, my feet, the sidewalk, breathing, it's all there. There's nothing missing. And so you give up the idea of chasing. You give up the idea of scarcity. You give up the idea of being like a cat going after a laser light. I'm trying. That's what we're all doing. Like, I want to get that. As soon as I get it, I'm going to feel better. No, you're not going to feel better until you first teach yourself what it feels like to feel better. It's tricky, isn't it? It's a very tricky thing. So I ask myself the question, what do I need in order to feel good about myself? This is something I ask myself so many times during a day. And if I can get myself to the point of nothing, I can choose to feel good about myself. I can make that choice. Instead of, if I complete this list, if I can mail this letter, if I can, get the car into the car wash, and the problem is what you've done is you've built up a habit of fervid, nervous, driven work addiction, for you to dig through the mountain and make that tunnel which has light shining through it. And we just get lost. We just get lost. So the first thing to do is, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling in a state of being uninspired, recognize you're in overwhelm. And now you can undertake the process I call underwhelmed. It's quite lovely. How much do I do in a day? Well, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I will take the things I have in my mind as a list, the tasks that I need to complete in order to love myself, and I'll just cross them off. I just like, no. But what if you're, no. You need to get your battery back up to 100%. And the culture just grinds us, just turns us into some kind of powder with its belief systems. I'm feeling grief. How fast am I supposed to feel grief? How fast? What? Shouldn't I be over grief? It's been whatever. No, it's not like that. We're not machines. And treating ourselves like we're mechanical leads to overwhelm, because our body is organic. We're animals, and as my cat shows me every day, naps are wisdom. Lay down, spread out, show your belly, whatever makes you feel better. So the first question is, do I beat myself up? Am I going to bully myself because I feel tired, because I feel uninspired? No, that's not going to help. That's not good. It's not a good thing. If you're feeling that way, you are in overwhelm. Now it's time to sit down and ask yourself, how much is too much for me right now? That's the answer to the conundrum. I want to say, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thumbs up, because it really helps the algorithm, or whatever the magic is behind the curtain. And also, I appreciate your comments. Share one of my videos with somebody that you see is struggling. And doing the thing we're taught to do is, when we are struggling, the first thing we do is bully ourselves or hate on ourselves, because that always works. What's wrong with you? That is not going to get you into a state of calm and happiness and high vibration. It doesn't work. If you want to have a coaching session, if you would like to have a card reading, look at what you can do to get yourself into a place where you're just more at home in your life, get a hold of me. Thank you so much for people who are subscribing. It's the numbers going up. I'm very excited. And I say to each of you that takes the time to watch my video, to do a thumbs up, to make a comment, to share it with somebody, I appreciate you.